In theaters now, just in time for the holiday season, is Violent Night. Holy Night. This is a dark comedy action Christmas movie starring David Harbour as Santa Claus, as the Santa Claus, who is sort of suffering. I don't know if I would say a crisis of conscience or just he's lost that love and feeling as far as Christmas is concerned, and all the little children around the world, and he winds up in a house where bad guys are holding a family hostage, Die Hard style, and Santa's got a brand new bag of violencia, thus the titular Violent Night. So basically, the idea, as I say, is Santa Claus taking out bad guys with guns, and Santa using his apparently muscle and violent tendencies to kill them in violent and gory ways. So, as I said, it's a comedy. This is from the director of Dead Snow, of the Dead Snow films, which I did not like, and also Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, which surprisingly I liked quite a bit. So it has that sensibility. I didn't know going in that Tommy Wirkola had directed this, but when his name came up at the end, I'm like, okay, so this kind of makes sense. So I did not like this film. I'm the voice of the wilderness, one of very few who did not like this movie. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, because pretty much everybody I know or who have read reactions to this movie from really liked it quite a bit. It's basically a comedic Die Hard with Santa Claus instead of John McClane. And it's very, very gross, very dark, there's a strain of comedy. I'm no prude. We always get that out of the way first. I'm no prude, but the first joke in the movie is someone looking up and being amazed that it's Santa Claus, a drunken, bitter Santa Claus who has just gotten into the sleigh, and they look up and see the sleigh in the sky, and they're just filled with joy and magic, and he leans over and pukes out of the sleigh, and it lands in their face. The movie kind of lost me right there. I don't find gross to be funny, and it's just this mean-spirited kind of very negative, nasty tone that this movie has, which the Dead Snow movies also had, and is like a modern strain of horror and comedy that it just rubs me the wrong way, where like every character is nasty in some way, and all the violence is like super mean-spirited. And I like gory movies, I like violent movies, I like action movies, I like all that stuff. But the way it was done in this was just like, it was like people were laughing at how over the top it was, but at the same time, I'm like, man, that's just mean. That's just really nasty. And maybe none of this will make sense if you've seen the movie, or maybe none of this will make sense if you haven't seen the movie. But it's just a tone that I don't care for. I don't care for this film's tone. It's a tone that I don't care for. So this movie has that. So while I was watching it, I'm like, this feels like a trauma movie, but with a little bit more class and a lot more money. And I know Wirkola, with his Dead Snow movies, I think he had said he was trying to make a trauma-style movie, and those certainly felt like it much more so. But I think there's like one character in this movie that I didn't think was just kind of annoying or nasty. The central figure is this couple, and they're going to the male's man and wife, man and ex-wife, man and estranged wife, and their young daughter. They're going to his mother's house. His mother is portrayed by Beverly D'Angelo as this nasty rich woman, and the other members of the family are all nasty, and they're all just trying to get in her good graces in a smarmy way so that they'll get free money from her or inherit things or whatever. And the son of the couple with the daughter that I was just talking about, he's like the good one. He's the one that's not nasty and doesn't play the games and all that. And the little girl is just this innocent, wonderful little girl who believes in Santa and manages to contact Santa Claus while the house is under siege. And he decides to rediscover the magic and spirit of Christmas by killing all these men and women in the bad guys, not the family, in the most violent and nasty ways possible. It felt like a lot of movies I'd already seen. It felt the whole idea of a mean and nasty Santa Claus is not totally unique. The whole idea of the house under siege, I've seen Die Hard. I know people who like this because it had Die Hard references, and to me it's just like, yeah, you're just reminding me of a better movie. it just felt like a lot of things I'd seen before. The nasty family, everybody who hates each other, they're all trying to get in the good graces of the rich person or the patriarch or the matriarch or whatever. Seen that a lot. It just, I didn't like it. I didn't find it funny. Some of the action was interesting in its choreography and the ultimate outcome of the violence and fights, but it was kind of sloppily rendered a lot of the time, so you really couldn't make out what was going on. And I know a lot of people that doesn't bother. A lot of people, you can hand them an action movie where you literally can't visually comprehend anything, and they call them great. So apparently I'm crazy, but I just didn't like it. And I knew going in what it was. I had seen the trailers, and from the trailers I was like, I like David Harbour, and he's very good in this. He's very good. He sells the action. When he's bloodthirsty, you believe it, and when he's tender, that works too. I'm a person who doesn't innately find humor or brilliance in the whole comedic trend of, we're going to take something that's really cute and innocent and we're going to make it nasty. We're going to take some iconic character that's always been innocent, we're going to make him a drug addict. We're going to take a little, a womanizer. We're going to take a little teddy bear that's cute. We're going to make him a foul-mouthed womanizing drug addict. That's great. What else do you have? Are you going to actually write anything funny? Or are you just is the humor of the fact that Santa Claus is saying the F word? Because to me, that's actually not that funny. So was it well made? I suppose it was okay. There wasn't really a lot in terms of grandiose cinematography. The opening takes place in England, and I'm really not sure why. It really doesn't have anything to do with that. In like a bar, but it doesn't even look like a British bar. It looks like an American bar, not a British pub. It was really an odd choice. Certain characters I could tell were faux Americans, and I didn't understand why. And John Leguizamo's in it, and he's okay, I guess. I like John Leguizamo. He doesn't have a lot to do in this. I really just didn't like it. And it was too long. It was nearly 2 hours. And my God, people, comedies should not be 2 hours. I cannot think. There probably are comedies I like that are close to 2 hours, but there's no need for it. Get in, get out. Get in, do what you're going to do, and get out. So like at 112 minutes, I was just like, just wrap this up. So I might have snickered a couple times in the movie. I might have appreciated some of the fight scenes and the fight choreography a little, but again, most of it was not terribly well rendered. Having said all that, I like David Harbour as this character. And if you gave me another film that maybe wasn't quite had such a nasty undertone to it, where Santa Claus once again has to foil a crime, I would probably be up for that. It sounds bizarre to say all this. It's one of those things where I see a movie that has like a good idea or a good concept or elements, and I'm like, okay, you did that. Make a sequel that's better. So Violent Night 2, I might be willing to watch if it wasn't quite as trauma-esque as this one. So at any rate, in theaters now throughout this joyous holiday season, Violent Night.